Hi everyone, my name is Laura. I love to crochet, and for this video I was out at the thrift store and I found a bunch of vintage crochet patterns, and I thought it could be really cool to try and recreate them like step by step and see kind of what's different, what's changed in the world of crochet, different techniques, different pattern styles, all of that kind of stuff. And it kind of combines two things that I love, which are thrifting and crochet. So the first one that I wanted to try out today was this one here, Stretch Tops by Beehive. I looked it up online and it said that this pattern came out sometime in the 70s, not exactly sure what year, but definitely very 70s vibes going on. Love a granny square vest. Even today I'm making a lot of granny squares, so this one kind of feels just like dipping my toes into a vintage pattern, but with a style that I'm already quite familiar with. So today I think I'm going to recreate this style here, more of like the traditional granny square style. The flower ones are super cute too, but I find them a little maybe spider webby looking, so maybe for another time, but I thought that yeah, we could get a really good result with that square. I'm not going to be using that exact color palette. I do think that's what really brings it into like the 70s zone, and I wanted to make it in a color palette that feels like more like something that I could wear. And I think too, at the end of this video, hopefully I can show how I would style this vest, both like in a 70s inspired way and then more in like a modern way that I might actually wear in my day-to-day style. But yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this pattern, see what's different, what's the same, if I can follow the directions, and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna get right into it, get crocheting, and show you how it comes together. Okay, so I'm gonna get right into it. And I'm just gonna hold it up here as well. So if you want to take a screenshot, follow along, make your own. Those are the directions there. So the colors that I'm going to use for my recreation of the top, I'm going to do a light blue, a light pink, and then this kind of like periwinkle purpley blue color. So that's kind of what they look like all together. And usually I would make this more out of like a natural fiber, like a cotton, but this specifically is for a stretch top, and the original instructions say to use an acrylic yarn, so I do think it's best to use an acrylic and something that's going to have a lot of stretch. So I just have the Michaels loops and threads in the soft classic style. These were on sale at my Michaels this week for $4, so that was a good deal for me. Okay, we're gonna get started. The very first step is already confusing because it says with color B, chain 2 stitches. And you'd think that the main color that you use the most and the first color that you start with would be color A, but for whatever reason, the first color is B, and then the second color is A, and the third color is C. So don't know why they would do it like that, but I'm going to take that darkest color, that periwinkle, and start with that. Okay, so I've just finished this first section with our first color here. So we have that center circle, our little spokes, and then the start of the granny square around the outside. So far nothing crazy, nothing that I can't decipher in the pattern. I do think that this inside situation looks a little bit retro, and adds a little bit of visual interest that I really like. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next color. So essentially just following what we've done before with that granny stitch and extending that out with our new color. Okay, so I just finished the third color, the 2 blue rows, and now I'm just going to add one more pink row around the outside, and then we'll finish up with our first color. Okay, so I just finished the pink round, and now I'm going to go in with one last round of granny stitch with the periwinkle color, and then the pattern says to double crochet in each double crochet and each space to the end of the round, slip stitching in the top of the chain 3 and fasten off. So I assume we're going to granny square around, and then we're going to double crochet into each of these double crochets and then into each of the spaces as well. And it says I should have a total of 144 stitches in the round. Okay, so that's the first side done. That's what it looks like with the double crochets on the top there. I'm just gonna go and do the next 3 sides, and then I'm going to steam block this and leave it on my blocking board overnight, and I'll come back tomorrow with those 2 sides done, and then we'll do the next step, which is creating the shoulder straps and the side panels and seaming everything together. So I'll see you tomorrow when that is ready to go. Hi everyone, it's the next day. I finished up the other square, blocked both of them last night, and this is what they're looking like now. So a little bit flatter, a little bit softer, and now it's time to join them together. Okay, and the first step to sew them together is to start with the back right shoulder strap. So with the right side of your work facing you, so this good side here, join B in the center stitch of any corner, chain 3 and 1 double crochet into the next 6 stitches, chain 3 and turn, so there's 7 stitches in a row. Okay. Okay, and those are the 2 back straps done. And our next step is to create the left underarm panel. So that is this part here that connects kind of the 2 sides. Okay, and for the first row of the underarm panel, we're going to chain 3 and do 1 double crochet into each of the next 24 stitches and then fasten off. So there's 25 stitches in the row. Okay, so I've done my chain 3 and 24 stitches, and now it says with the right side of the work facing, join color C for the granny motif style top. So for me, that's this light blue color. So I'm going to join that. It's really hard for my brain to go from doing double crochets back to doing singles. I have to be like, don't wrap the yarn around the hook. Don't wrap the yarn around the hook. Okay, I think somewhere along the way I messed this up because it's just not looking like the picture. So we're going to start again. Okay, so I've just finished adding our color B here, and the stitch pattern that they want you to do kind of creates this like lattice type look, which I think is interesting looking. Maybe I just don't like it because it was hard to do. So I'm gonna fasten this off and then we're gonna start on the other panel. Okay, so I'm just going to move on to the right back panel. And then for our other side, we're actually just going to do exactly the same thing as we did on this back side to the front. So we're gonna build up the straps in the same way and the side panels in the same way. So I'm just gonna sit here, crochet. I'll tilt this down so that you can take a look as I work through that, but it's just going to be, yeah, creating the same thing that we've already done on this side. And then I will meet back up with you when we start to work on the final details, which are the border edges here. So I'm gonna get to work. Okay, so I just finished that second panel. It has the straps and the side seams. And now I'm going to sew it to the other one. So just sewing the straps together and those sides together, and then we'll be ready to add the border and the finishing touches. Okay, and I just finished sewing those two panels together. These are the wrong sides, but this is what it's looking like. And now it's time to add the border. Okay, so I just finished the second row of the bottom border, and for my size it says that I should do a third row and then do that 3 more times, so I should have 4 more go rounds after this one. I actually think I'm just gonna call it at 2, partially because I'm tired and partially because I slipped this on and I like the length where it is right now. It hits like just at the top of the waistband of my jeans, which is how I like my vests and tank tops to fit. Again, I think this is something where you see the like vintage over modern. Obviously right now, like a cropped silhouette is a little bit more current, whereas with this pattern, that really is like a full length tank top. So again, I'm tired. I think 2 rows looks really good. So I'm gonna leave it at 2 and then work on the final piece, which is the border edging. And I hope that this doesn't take a long time. So I just finished the first row of pink, and then we're working on our second round, which is to chain 1 single crochet in the same stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, then you're going to chain 3, slip stitch into the 3rd chain from hook to form a picot, miss 1 stitch, 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, repeat to the end of the round and fasten off. Okay, so hard to see, but that's how the first 3 are looking. I don't know if I'm obsessed with that yet, but we're just gonna keep going all the way around. Okay, so I was definitely doing that wrong. You're gonna slip stitch into the third chain of the chain 3 that you make, not into the third chain in the row at the bottom. So that's why that was looking crazy. So I'm just going to start again. Okay, let's try that again. That makes more sense. And then you get cute little pom-pom guys. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going all the way around with our little pom-pom friends, and I'll see you when I'm done with that. I just finished the bottom border with the peacocked, and I think it looks so cute. I'm obsessed. I will be doing this on everything now. Really, really cute. And next step is just to do the same thing on the neck and around the sleeves. But it's just more of the same. I'm gonna finish that off camera, weave in the ends. I might block it one more time too, just for the side panels and the straps. And then I think tomorrow we'll try it on, style it, we'll see how it all comes together. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm tired of working on it. I'm ready for it to be done. So yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow when it's ready to try on. Okay, I finished the border. The vest is done. Here's how it looks. I think it came out really nicely. I love the 3 colors together. I think they really complement each other nicely, and they have a nice spring color palette. I wasn't totally sure about the side panels, but seeing it on now, I think it's really, really cute and helps keep it from getting too boxy as well. And when I was putting it together, there were supposed to be more rows of this bottom border. And it was also supposed to taper in more. You were supposed to decrease by 6 stitches. But I really like this length. This is like hitting right at the top of my jeans, which is how I like my vest to fit. So I just did 2 rows instead of the 6 that it had asked for, and did no decreases. Because again, when I'm wearing tops underneath, I like to have a little bit more room and not have it clinging so tight to whatever I have on underneath. But yeah, really, really happy with how this turned out. I think I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of it this spring, and I wanted to show you too how I would style a piece like this. So for this first look, I wanted to do something that was inspired by the 70s, where this pattern came from. So I started with a flowy white blouse that I thrifted, and then I added some flare jeans. And what I really like about these is that there's no back pocket, so I think they really kind of lean 70s in that way. And then on my feet, I just did a brown leather clog. Again, really kind of like a 70s inspired shoe. And you'll see on the right hand side, I just went on Pinterest and pulled some real images from the 70s and 70s fashion to play with when I built this look. And then for the second look, I wanted to go for something a little bit more modern, a little bit more feminine, floaty. So I started with this denim chore coat, which I think is a nice pairing with the colors in the vest. And then I layered the vest over a white flowy dress. This was thrifted. And then finished with my pink Adidas, which I think do a nice job of carrying that color from the top down to the bottom. And they add kind of a fun pop of pink and a really nice casual comfortable sneaker. So I could definitely see myself wearing this like out running errands, maybe at a casual day at the office, something comfy and cute. And I think that that white dress really lets the crochet pattern shine. And then this third look is a little bit of a wild card, a little bit out of the box, but I had these pink pants that matched the pink in the top perfectly. So I thought they'd be a nice pairing together, and bringing in those pink shoes as well. So it's kind of like a monochromatic tone on tone look, just broken up with the blues and the periwinkle. So I wanted to also try the vest without a top underneath and see what that looked like as well. And then topping that off with a bucket hat. It's kind of leaning festival fashion to me, but I think it's a fun way to switch it up. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today. I really hope that you liked watching me recreate this pattern, the successes, the failures, and then seeing how it looks all styled together. It was really fun to make and really cool to see what techniques we still use now, and how a vintage pattern can still totally be something wearable today. But yeah, I'd love to try more of these if you guys like watching them, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.